beneficial to our, wait, oh, okay, yeah. So what should be beneficial to, our area and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my point.
Another solution which I had was, I guess people won't start segregating waste, or people won't start doing anything out of their comfort zone for the environment unless and until they know what each of their actions implies, and what effect does it have to the environment. So maybe not only spreading awareness in such a way that you can actually get people, uh, give people a graph where it shows what kind of a helpless situation we are in. So because of course now we humans, we put ourselves in this situation. Now we also have the potential to stop it, but unless and until we aren't one, and we aren't one against a single cause, we won't be able to get there. So once they have that kind of recognition for what is happening and how drastic that is, they will automatically start doing all of these simple steps at their household level, and not think about it as something left for the smaller part of the society, which people, they term them as environmentalists.
Can I add something more in that?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, yes, 100% I agree with that. And we can also like some people, like some of us, I mean, I hope most of us have like close neighbors. Like we have people around us that are close to us. We talk to them in almost every day. And so we can try to make them understand while showing the data and statistics about trash and everything. And we can try to make them understand day by day, little by little, about how this is all affecting our world and stuff, so that they can also start segregating the waste. So that can be also helpful. Like the people around us are close to us, we can incorporate these elements in our everyday topics so that we can kind of like change their mindset about this. So that can be helpful as well. Personally, I think that might work.
If I can go,
Yeah, sure.
I come from Calcutta, and I feel like Calcutta does not have a lot of recycling centers, and which is a
Sorry,
very
who's speaking? Just introduce yourselves. Introduce yourselves before speaking.
I am Shalvani. I come from Calcutta, and I feel like Calcutta, like I don't know about the rest of India in particular, but in Calcutta does not have a lot of recycling centers. And recently we've been seeing this, like I have seen this a lot in YouTube videos and stuff, like where Germany actually recycles plastic water bottles, and then they give you like I don't know how much rupee coin. So like what Parakram said, that nobody will be willing to give extra effort for the environment if until and unless like an incentive is given. And considering India, I feel like this can be a very big step, like open small recycling centers and recycle stuff. And like I'm not asking you to give them like 100 rupees, like 1 rupee, 2 rupee coin would be enough to bring it can attract a lot of people. And secondly, I feel like this is a very small step, but it can help a lot of problems. Is when you go to the market, just carry a paper bag or a jute bag. You don't have to take a plastic bag from the vendor. So like I think this is like a very small step which can help a lot of issues.
If I could counter that, because the whole point of this discussion right now, okay, that is a very valid solution, but the thing is that people aren't willing to take that step. People aren't willing to take that cloth bag, and when they're outside, they don't want to have a cloth bag ready in their cars or in their vehicles. So that is something we can do on a personal level, we being aware about it, but people aren't doing that as of now. In Well, that solution is a good one, but again, not implementable or not working as of now.
Uh,
I
can I
can
jump
I
in?
just add something?
Go ahead, Kritika. I'll go ahead after you. Okay.
See, I totally believe in these practical things that uh, I'll share what happened in my area. Earlier, the people were in instructed by the MCD to segregate their wastes on their own from their home itself, so that it's easy for the garbage pickers to just collect the waste separately. Otherwise they have to do it with hands, which is very tedious job, and it can also cause health hazards to them. But no one actually did that. Like, if we have 200 households, rarely, barely one or two people families did that. But then they implemented this thing that your garbage will not be accepted by the garbage picker if you are not separating the waste, biodegradable, non biodegradable, and e-waste separately. Earlier people took it just as a joke that why it won't be accepted, you have to take it, or we pay for it, you have to collect our garbage as well. But when the things got serious about this, everyone actually started doing this. So we are Indians, we have to someone has to force us. We don't care about nature and environment easily. Someone has to force us in some or the other way to make us do a little step towards the nature.
Yes, absolutely. So what I was going to say was on similar lines, that uh, India में we don't have environment on the agenda actually. जब हमारा basic convenience is being questioned, इतना छोटा सा भी inconvenience, like people can't bear it, they would prefer taking the shortest route, or concerns are different, economic concerns are different, and generally environment is not on the agenda.
True, that's what happens in our locality too. Our heads have made it compulsory, mandatory for us to have a cleaning drive every month of the locality. And if every family does not send one person, we're supposed to have we fined about 500 rupees. So that's a huge reason why a lot of people have to volunteer.
Yeah, so I also wanted to add something. I live in Kashmir.
Who's
So,
speaking? Who's speaking?
sorry,
Who's speaking?
Maliha, Maliha.
Hi, Maliha. I'm
Yeah.
hearing from you for the
So my
first time.
house is near a flood channel, basically.
Okay.
So 2 years back, there was a flood-like situation in my colony because the people here are so irresponsible. Like they throw everything in that flood channel, and now it's been, I guess, 10-15 years since the waste has accumulated there. The crops, I mean, nobody is going to clear that, and the people also throw there. The drainage, maybe the detergents, the foam, everything goes there. So as a result, we had to suffer like 2 years back. But then some people did take the steps. After that, things did go normal, but now it's still going the same way. People are throwing the stuff there, everything. They don't even bother to, you know, give, take it to some place where like some people would come and collect it. They just throw it near their house in that channel without like caring for it.
Okay. So basically, what you guys will be doing now is proposing a name for speaking, because I'm not picking out people. I don't want to be hated. So either volunteer or it's more of a discussion amongst you people as a generation. Like, we aren't that old, Sadhya and I. We aren't that far apart. But even then, it we would love to hear from you guys what goes on in your beautiful, beautiful minds about these issues. And I personally love it when everyone speaks.
So what I could gather from the discussion so far, people in India are hard pressed for their living, for earning money on a daily basis because most people are daily wage laborers. So one question I wanted to ask about the Wong movement and the Wong to the Wongals in general was that how are we supposed to matlab, we are the Wongsters whose voices are to be raised for this environmental against this environmental crisis we face today, but then how do we actually affect these people who are hard pressed to even live or to even have food, because environment can't be on their agenda when survival is trivial for them.
Sadhu, you want to take that?
Yes, Parakram. Like I totally understand your point. When we come here, like we at Wong, we first need to, believe that we cannot think of everything right now, right? We need to specify the areas where we can contribute. And when we take the first step, then we can cover everything. But first, we need to be very specific right now, right? Like we're having these discussions, we are like identifying the issues, we're talking about, how we feel about it. And by the end of this, we should be able to get to a solution that we would be able to, implement as well. So that's why we've called everyone here, so that we can get everyone talking to. And this platform is not about how you speak and what you speak about. It is about you being present and you being conscious and you being willing to bring a change. Yes, there's a lot of, what you can say, distinctions, and there are many you have to take care of. Like if we go in depth of everything, there's a lot of differences. You have to consider people coming from different backgrounds, the people coming from different backgrounds, everything, all the distinctions, you can say. But we just trying, we have to, yes, we also have to think about everyone, but right now let's be specific as well. Let's start with being specific. I That's what I believe. Let's start with being specific. We can just start with the areas we are capable of saving, and then just widen our horizons. And not us, you should be able to do that. We want to hear from you how we should get to those people, how we should, take care of those people. We want to know from you, because we believe that no one can do it much better than you.
Also, Parakram, answering to that, like not answering, responding to that, I also feel that to cater to someone's problems, you need to know them first. You can't assume what problems a particular group is facing without having any prior knowledge or being in interaction with them. And that is basically what we are doing. We are opening up a platform for discussion. We are opening up a platform for you people to interact and get to know what you as a generation believe. Because like you could have your isolated thoughts ki ha, I am an individual, this is what I think about ki kya kya hona chahiye. Not that it doesn't matter ki individual action kya hota hai, but to act as a generation, to know what you as a generation are concerned about in the present and in the future. That is very important before you start addressing the concerns. That can happen simultaneously as well. Like you people are like, when I was your age, I seriously, I'm telling you, I was too afraid to join such organizations. I didn't have the same exposure. But I am thoroughly surprised by the views people put here, and I always forget that you're young, like you're younger than me. So it's like this platform is basically to get to know each other and what your views are about things, and to know how you can act as a group, even if you act in your individual capacities, to inspire others within the group, to share what your problems are. Like we have people from different regions here, different backgrounds here, and everybody, everybody's interaction with a certain problem is different, and to have a platform
equally, or maybe not equally, but yeah, both of those contribute to the thing that he said. Both of those contribute to the fact that people are consuming those things, and then people are throwing away the waste without any proper management. And I think one practical solution would be to talk to more people near us about the thing. Like, I would try and talk to my neighbors, because I never really talk to them about waste management. I talk to them mainly about veganism and LGBTQIA rights and stuff like that. But waste management is just one thing that is left in from our discussions. So I think I'm gonna start talking to them even more about this, and that can be my solution personally.
I think single-use plastics are produced only because they are consumed widely by the people. They are accepted by the people. Like a few, I think a year back, we had this sudden drive that single-use plastic polythenes will be banned, and then everybody in my locality started carrying a cloth bag or a reusable jute bag in their bags. But like, it's like a war. It just pays off, and it's like shant ho jata hai. So like within a month or so, everybody got back to those single use plastic polythenes because they were not fined, or they were not, there were no particular rules for that. Again, it comes to these things that we are Indians, we are stupids, we do not care for nature as a part of our daily habit.
Yes, I kind of agree. Like, some laws are not even implemented properly. That should be happened. Like, there are so many laws that are not implemented properly about wildlife. There are so many laws, like literally. But people just do those crimes and get away with it just because they're not implemented properly. So that's another major issue.
Well, I would never, I wouldn't call my own people in my own country stupids, but yes, we don't actually, that isn't on our priority list. And but I would also like to mention that if once we try and we get into something, then no one can stop us Indians, and that way we are the best. So we just need to get the train on the track, and then it is sure to be a success.
I think
Yes, that's a good point.
I think the problem of reduction was brought up a little earlier. The fact that most of especially in the photograph, most of the food was packed in plastic, and once we've bought it, we're just throwing it away. We're not really doing anything with it. So, yeah, that's about it.
So do you guys like, would you like to suggest anyone an activity that we should take immediately after this, like in this regard, that we can do, that we as Wongsters can do? Anything that you like to suggest? Maybe use our social media platforms for that. Maybe you can just write a letter to your municipality, mayor or something. Do you think we should, start working on an activity that you could drive in this regard? Do you have any ideas?
I feel one thing that we can do is like we can have more like those dustbins in the streets, markets, so that it is more accessible to people. Like we don't have to walk a mile or so to find a dustbin and then throw our waste there. I feel that is one of the solutions that we can do.
So, personally, what happens in my household is that we are supposed to carry a cloth bag with us. Varna, those uh, Reliance showrooms and all such showrooms, उनसे खरीदना पड़ता है एक तो पहली बात. And mom's like, नहीं, Either you hold all of that stuff in your hands, या तो बैग लेके जाओ तुम चुपचाप से. Sorry. Does anything like that happen at your homes as well? Like, are your families forcing you to do something like that, or do you force your families to do something like that?
It
Yes,
completely happens.
it
Like
happens.
we can never pay for a poly bag or a carry bag. We'll always either carry our own bag or we can hold 100 things in our hand at once, but we will not pay.
Yeah, we also do that here.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, in mostly in big bazaars kind of shops.
What else? What else do you do?
I think we missed out the most important thing. Carry your own water bottle. Like literally. The Bisleri, all the packaging, it is like the single-use plastic, right? So it is a very important danger to our earth. So yes, we should all carry our water bottles. I would say that, Shreyashi.
Water bottles and straws and every single thing we use as students and people as well. Jab se I joined university, I made sure that I always traveled with a metal straw. I traveled with a bottle and a tiffin. So even if I am standing at a juice shop, I ask that person to fill my bottle. Jitna bhi I'll pay for the amount for the juice itself, but I won't take the reusable cups or even the plastic cups. What else? What else do you do or plan on doing? Like you think you've cool, CJ. It was good to hear from you. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
So,
thank you.
so we have these things that are aesthetically very pleasing on Instagram and all, and which do seem sustainable. Some things, yeah. So, like, do you plan on doing that? Like using reusable stuff, which is very fancy nowadays.
Can I share something?
Hanji, bolo.
I saw a reel a few days back in which the person was telling us that sustainable living is not just on paper. We can actually adopt that in our life. She was just showing how she does not use single-use plastic as shampoo bottles and everything. They have stores where you can just get your old bottle refilled again and again once you finish it, and that is at a comparatively lower cost as when you buy the whole thing with the bottle. She also showed some reusable toothbrushes which do not have to be replaced like every few months. They can be just disinfected and used like for lifelongs, and many more such things. Like we use tissue papers and many such things we don't even pay attention to. They can be very harmful for the environment without us realizing the fact. So I think such reusable things and more such measures can be adopted in our daily life. It's not very difficult if we actually initiate to make a step betterment for the nature and everything.
So I have to add something. We have an online store here named the Grocery. So if you give, like, if you return them their bag, they would pay you 5 rupees back. Like, if you return that bag. So that would in turn help in like the decreasing the production of bags and like making it sustainable as well.